Delicious. Let's see. Serving size 16 gummies. Creatine per gummy 250 milligrams. Cool. So I'd need to eat this whole bottle of gummies to get maybe one effective dose. Got it.
Gummy supplements are everywhere right now. Instagram loves them. TikTok worships them. And your aunt, who just started her wellness journey, is double fisting hair, skin, and nail gummies like it's her new religion. But here's the problem most consumers don't realize. Most gummy supplements are trash. Cute trash. Fruit-flavored trash. But still trash. In this video, I'm going to explain why, using real examples, actual dosage data, and a light sprinkling of judgment. Let's dive in. But before we do, hey there friends, I'm Jake, and this is Bottom Line. And I love supplements. I know this video might make it seem like I don't. I really do. I've spent over a decade in the supplement industry, on the brand side and on the manufacturing side. Now, I break it all down, so your kidneys don't have to. Let's be honest, gummies are fun. They taste like candy, they come in bright colors, and they make it feel like you're treating yourself while pretending you're doing something responsible. That's a powerful combination. Grown adults are out here getting dopamine hits from their vitamin routine. Because when your supplement tastes like Sour Patch watermelon, it's easy to forget it might actually be doing nothing.
Oof.
And the worst part is, the supplement industry knows it. That's why every trending ingredient, creatine, magnesium, collagen, melatonin, now has a gummy version. Because if they can make it taste good enough, you won't ask questions like, is this even doing anything? Or why is the serving size half a bottle? Instead, you'll think, wow, this tastes way better than my actual multivitamin. Maybe I should take 2, which still might be underdosing it, by the way. And that's the danger. The better it tastes, the more you trust it. And the more you trust it, the less likely you are to read the label, check the dosage, or ask if it's worth your money. Spoiler, it probably isn't. Here's the fundamental problem with most gummies. You can't fit much of anything into a gummy. Not if you want it to taste good. Not if you want it to hold its shape, not if you want it to survive shipping without melting into a sticky blob that looks like a fruit leather had a nervous breakdown. So when it comes to actual dosage, yeah, things get sad fast. Let's go back to creatine because this one's my personal favorite. You need around 3 to 5 grams of creatine per day for it to actually do anything. Most creatine gummies, 250 milligrams per gummy, which means to get an effective dose, you'd need to eat 12 to 20 gummies every day. That's not a supplement routine. That's a sugar bender, like a 9-year-old at a sleepover whose parents don't allow sugar at home. So now they're at their friend's house pounding Gushers like it's a controlled substance. And this isn't just creatine. Look at magnesium, collagen, apple cider vinegar, fiber, literally any ingredient that requires more than a sprinkle to work. If it's in a gummy, the dose is probably somewhere between useless and imaginary. But hey, at least it tastes like tropical punch, which totally makes up for the fact that it's basically decorative. Here's where things go from disappointing to straight up sketchy. A lot of gummy supplements don't even contain what they claim. Like, not even a little bit close. James Smith did a great video exposing creatine gummies recently. Highly recommend checking it out. And when he actually tested those with a reputable lab, some had less than half the amount of creatine listed on the label. Others, literally none at all. It's like paying for a scoop of protein and getting a business card back that says, just believe in yourself. And the problem is, it's not just creatine. Independent testing from groups like Labdoor, Consumer Lab, and USP has pretty consistently shown that gummies are one of the worst performing formats when it comes to label accuracy. Because here's the dirty little secret. Gummies are harder to manufacture with precision. It's way easier to get exact doses into capsules or powders. With gummies, there's melting, mixing, sticking, settling, and all kinds of nonsense that makes consistent dosing, let's just say, aspirational. So unless the brand is third-party tested and shows their results with an actual QR code that can be looked up by the end consumer, you could just be paying $30 plus for a bottle of fruit-flavored disappointment. But hey, at least it tastes good. If the low dosages didn't get you, maybe the sugar will. Most gummies are loaded with added sugars, syrups, or sugar alcohols. Because, let's be honest, they're trying to taste like candy. And guess what helps with that? Sugar. Lots of it. Some brands will proudly slap 2 grams of sugar per gummy on the label like that's a flex. But when the serving size is 6 gummies, and you're supposed to take them daily, that's basically an added sugar subscription. Or worse, they go sugar-free by loading the gummies with sugar alcohols like sorbitol or xylitol. Which sounds fine until you're 4 gummies deep and suddenly fighting for your life in a Whole Foods bathroom. And again, this would all be somewhat forgivable if these gummies were giving you effective doses of something useful. But they're not. You're basically getting a glorified fruit snack that thinks it's helping, but really isn't. It's like if Gushers joined an MLM and has a team call on Zoom every Tuesday. Let's break it down. Not all supplement formats are created equal. Capsules are boring. They don't taste like anything. They're not trending on TikTok. But you know what they are? Effective. You can fit a real dose of almost any ingredient in them. They're shelf stable and they're easy to take consistently without also getting 8 grams of added sugar. Powders are great if you need flexible dosing or if the ingredient needs to be taken in large amounts, like creatine, collagen, or greens powders. Sure, some of them taste like sadness, but at least they work. And why else are we taking supplements? Gummies? They're cute. They're colorful. And they're almost completely useless for anything that requires more than a sprinkle of an ingredient. In fact, here's a good rule of thumb. If your supplement tastes amazing, it's probably not doing that much for you. Not always, but usually. Because again, you can't jam 5 grams of creatine, 400 milligrams of magnesium, or even a full B complex into a gummy and still have it taste like candy. It's science. It's not a supplement. It's branding with gelatin. All right, let's be fair. Not every gummy is useless. There are a few cases where gummies can work. If the ingredient is concentrated, the effective dose is small, and the brand isn't just cashing in on the candy vibe. Some examples: melatonin works in microgram doses. A 1 to 3 milligram gummy, totally fine. Vitamin B12 or biotin. Again, tiny doses go a long way. Magnesium citrate, if the brand uses the right form and if the dose is high enough. But those are big ifs. But here's the catch. For a gummy to actually deliver a full clinical dose, the serving size is usually something like 4 to 8 gummies, which most people don't take. Because who wants to chew a handful of gummy blobs every morning and spike their blood sugar like a reckless toddler? Personally, I'd rather just spike it with cake or a big old Costco muffin. These things are delicious. So yeah, technically, some gummy supplements can be effective, but most people don't take enough of them, and most brands don't put enough in them. So what you're left with is the worst of both worlds. Low dose, high sugar, great flavor, and absolutely no results. So, are gummy supplements ever worth it? Sure, if the ingredient is effective at low doses, if the serving size is realistic, and if the brand isn't lying on the label. But let's be real. Most of them don't check any of those boxes. Most gummies are just expensive candy with a health halo. You're paying premium supplement prices for doses so low, they'd make a Flintstones chewable blush. They taste great, they look great, and they might give you a placebo boost if you believe hard enough. But if you actually care about results, sleep, recovery, hair, skin, whatever, a capsule or a powder is almost always better. More stable, more accurate, and usually a lot cheaper per effective dose. So if you're buying a supplement and the best thing about it is that it tastes like watermelon Jolly Ranchers, yeah, that's not a supplement. That's a treat with a health claim stapled to it. All right, well, that's my gummy takedown.
Pew, pew.
Do you hate me? Hopefully not. Have you ever taken gummy supplements that actually worked for you? Or did you just enjoy the flavor and tell yourself it was doing something? Drop your experiences in the comments. I would like to know what you've tried and if anything's moved the needle. And if you liked this breakdown, check out my other videos where I test the supplements that are actually worth your money and roast the ones that aren't. Thanks for checking out Bottom Line. I'll see you next time.